Welcome to SSN Entertainment TV, where the fun never ends and the entertainment never stops. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a wild ride with SSN Entertainment TV. They should have never let the Golden State Warriors draw Patrick Baldwin Jr. In today's video, we're gonna be going through 5 reasons why I think Patrick Baldwin Jr. is a perfect fit for the Golden State Warriors and how he can help the Warriors win another NBA championship. So don't forget to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like these, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that red button down below. Let's get into the first reason. And the first reason being is the Golden State Warriors were able to sign Patrick Baldwin Jr. for a very cheap price. So Baldwin actually signed a 4-year contract worth $13.99 million through only the first 2 seasons. Guaranteed he is due to make $2.2 million in 2022 to 2023 and $2.3 million in 2023 to 2024. And I think they got him for a very cheap price, which is honestly good to see. And the Warriors hold a $2.4 million club option in 2024 to 2025 and would be eligible for a contract extension in the summer of 2025. Baldwin is due to make $4.4 million in 25 to 26 under his current rookie deal. So I think it's honestly great to see that they got him for such a cheap price, and for someone of his caliber, as you all know, Patrick Baldwin Jr. actually coming out of high school was a 5-star recruit, and he was playing at one of the highest levels when it came to high school basketball. He was offered by big schools such as Duke and Kansas. However, the only reason why he didn't go to these schools is he decided to play with his dad in Milwaukee. So his dad was actually the coach there, and I think it didn't really plan out as well, because it would have been better for him to go to a big school such as Duke or anything of that nature, due to the fact that he was gonna get more eyeballs on him. But I think it's a blessing in disguise because Golden State Warriors were able to get a 5-star recruit type player for such a cheap price, especially for the first 4 years. I think 4 years is long time, especially for an NBA player. I think you can really develop into someone special, and I can definitely see that happening with someone like Patrick Baldwin Jr. Jay Bilas, who you probably already know of, has actually said that Patrick Baldwin Jr. is a lottery talent that wasn't actually drafted in the lottery. And I think that is really important, especially coming from someone like Jay Bilas, who definitely knows basketball and knows what he's talking about. But when it comes to the talent for the money, I think Warriors have an absolute steal on their hands. And they have 4 years, but guaranteed 2 years to really find out the best of what Patrick Baldwin Jr. can give. Reason number 2 why I think Patrick Baldwin Jr. is perfect for Golden State Warriors is the Golden State Warriors need another big man to add to their roster. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disrespect any of the people that already are in Golden State Warriors, such as Kevin Looney, James Wiseman, Draymond Green. However, it is good to add someone like Patrick Baldwin Jr. to that rotation, especially at him being 6'9". I think he's a great scorer, and he can definitely get to the hoop very easily. He can also shoot pretty well, but it does need a little bit of working on. But I think he has all the right tangibles in order to become a very good player. Now you all probably already know and have heard about Draymond Green that he may be leaving Golden State Warriors very soon if he doesn't get offered a max extension. So it's still up in the air whether that will happen or not. But at least hypothetically, if Draymond Green decides to leave, and they obviously have replacements for him. Now Patrick Baldwin Jr. may not be a starter if Draymond Green leaves, but he could definitely be the second unit. Maybe put James Wiseman in there, and JaMychal Green, who's now in the team. So there's a lot of options they can go with when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, but I think it's great to have someone of him in that position because at least if they need that power forward, small forward position, they can have that in Patrick Baldwin Jr. So that's great to see from there, but when it comes to what he's capable of doing, I think his scoring is very underrated. A lot of people don't know he's a 6'9" shooter. 12.1 points a game. He actually averaged but only shot 34 from the field, but it was only in 11 games. So obviously, he does need a little bit of working on it. He can definitely get better, but it is a college games and it was only 11 games he did play before injury. So it was interesting to see how it all plays out, especially in the NBA manner, but I do think he has all the right tangible, and having someone like Steph, Clay by your side to teach you how to shoot, I'm telling you this guy could be the next Splash Brother if he wanted to. We all saw what happened with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole gets a couple of seasons with Steph Curry, and now Jordan Poole is just as good as Steph Curry on the three-point line. So if anyone can teach him how to shoot, it's definitely those players. And I think he has a lot to learn, especially within the 4 years of his contract. But when it comes to a power forward position, I think it's great that they did get someone like him. Just in case Draymond Green leaves, at least Michael Green can maybe step up, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. can maybe come off the bench. So there's a lot of possibilities to it, but power forward is definitely what Warriors needed, and they finally fulfilled that with getting someone like him. And not only who's just a normal powerful that plays a great defense, but a power forward that it can actually score, whether it's mid-range, whether it's three-point, and I think that's great to see from there. Draymond has claimed to be around 6'6", 6'7", so he's not really that tall. So Patrick Baldwin is technically a big power forward or even a big small forward even if he does play that position. And I think he can really mix between the two. But when it comes to defense, I think it is really important that he actually averaged 5.8 rebounds, which was great to see. 0.8 steals and 0.8 blocks, which is pretty good at the college level. He was only playing 28 minutes, and he did only play like 11 games now. Due to injury, that's where his draft stock actually went down. But I think what really makes it a really good idea to get someone like Patrick Baldwin Jr. is to compare Patrick to actually Michael Porter Jr. Now it's hilarious how they both are juniors, but if you don't remember, MPJ was actually a great prospect. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, played pretty well in college but was injury prone, which is why he wasn't that high on the tier list when it came to his draft stock and all of that. Now when it came to that, he was definitely I thought was going to be first to second pick before all the injuries actually happened. But obviously he dropped a further way down. I see that happening with Patrick Baldwin Jr. as well. I think he's a great player. He definitely has the skills and the tangibles to play and be a first or second pick, but the only reason why is because all the other teams are looking to get a player that can impact now, and due to the fact that he is a little bit injury prone. Those first couple of teams do not want to risk that. So obviously they get the safer options, and that's why he saw bigger players go in the draft. And that's basically what happened to Michael Porter Jr. as well. MPJ, even though he does get pretty injured here and there, I think he's still such a great player. And I think people really don't see how much of a talent he is when he's healthy and he's playing at full force, and that's what makes Denver so dangerous as well. They got a lot of great players in their bag, and I think that's what's happening the same with BBJ. I think Patrick Baldwin Jr., when it comes to him, yes, he is a little bit injury prone, but once they get that all sorted, they are confident that they're going to be able to get him to play 100 at a very healthy level. And once they get him to that status or to that level, I think it's honestly going to be lights out for any other NBA team. Okay, I think he can play at definitely the highest level, put in some great minutes, and can definitely help out on both ends of the floor. I think it's fantastic to see that because, as you'll know, when it comes to defense, the offense is already sorted for Golden State Warriors. Okay, you got Steph, you got Clay, you got Andrew Wiggins. I could go on for the list for ages, to be honest. I could pretty much name all 14 players if I wanted to, but the offense is already there, and to add someone like Patrick Baldwin Jr. for that defense is honestly really good to see. And standing at 6'9", 220 pounds, he's definitely not going to be getting bullied anytime soon in the paint. So I think he can really hold his own, which is honestly fantastic to see. Reason number 4 is that Patrick Baldwin's Jr. mindset and also his playstyle fits the Golden State Warriors. And I think this is the most important thing, and every time I do these videos really talking about a new player that's added to Golden State Warriors, or maybe a potential player that could be added to the Warriors, really do talk about the playstyle and mindset, and how that really plays a huge part on how well they will go playing with the rest of the Warriors roster. I think it is very important to show that when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. They're really doing something special where they don't put themselves first. They put the team first at all cost. Yes, you see Steph Curry drop 30, 40 points every single game sometimes, and it gets a bit crazy. However, all of them really do sacrifice a lot in order for that to happen. And even if you ask Steph himself, I reckon even if he averaged 10, 20 points a game, he'd rather that and win the NBA championship than average 50 and not even make the playoffs. And I think they're all on that same mindset. They're all about winning at all costs, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. definitely fits that roster. I really don't see him being a player that wants to have minutes straight away, or that wants to be an all-star, wants to be a starter, whatever it happens. Because we've seen that happen with a lot of rookies in the past, where they get a bit too cocky. They think they're the main, and when they come into the league, it just doesn't work out like that. Patrick Baldwin Jr., you can tell he really wants to learn. He wants to be the best possible player he can for this team, whether that's him shooting, whether that's him defending, or whether that's him even just riding the bench. I feel like it doesn't really matter to him. Now, if you want to know more about this, guys, I highly do suggest you go watch the press conferences they have. The Golden State Warriors have released press conferences at Patrick Baldwin Jr. and talking about his process when it comes to joining this team. And it really does show the fire inside of him to really become something special as time goes on. Reason number 5, and probably my favorite reason, is that Patrick Baldwin Jr. has a very high IQ. But don't take it from me. General Manager Bob Myers actually said in an interview he has great size and very skilled and has a high IQ. We watched some film with him, and you can tell he's a coach's son. Our system requires pretty high-level thinking. He's versatile, and we think he can play with some of our guys, and I think that's what really impressed Bob Myers to actually draft him and to get a player of that caliber. Yes, he did actually play under his dad. So his dad definitely taught him a few things, and I think Patrick Baldwin Jr. sees the game a lot like a coach. And that's what makes him such a great player. Now you see these players such as high IQ players, such as Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul, just to name a few, and the reason why they're so high IQ players and why they're so smart is because they don't see the game as a player, but they see it as a coach, and that's what makes them so dangerous, even though they're not the most athletic, even though they can't shoot the best or anything like that. They can still dominate a game because they know how to pinpoint everything and to get to the basket. Shoot a jump shot here and there and get the team moving. So there's a lot of things that do come with high IQ that really benefits the team as a whole rather than just him individually. So it may not show up in the stats, but I'm telling you, with a high IQ player on the court, it can open up other players. You can open up Steph, Clay, Andrew Wiggins, all these players to really get to work. I think that's what Bob Mayer saw, and then that's what I also see in Patrick Baldwin Jr. as well. So let me know down in the comments what you think, guys. Did the rest of the NBA make a mistake not drafting Patrick Baldwin Jr. sooner? Let me know down in the comments. And there you have it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.